You look beautiful. Red would have loved this. If Red Burns had been born in the 15th century, I'm convinced she would have discovered the New World. As it is, most of us never knew when she was born. But we knew for sure that over the course of her long and remarkable career at NYU's Tisch School of the Arts, she inspired a host of exciting new worlds. Over 30 years ago, she foresaw that the School of the Arts' new department with the improbable name Interactive Telecommunications Program, or ITP, could be infinitely generative and endlessly shape-shifting if people and their ideas, their need to connect, their need to solve some intractable problem, or simply their need to play, were at the center of technology and not the machines. Red's course, that she was scheduled to teach this semester, was an introduction to that philosophy. Her course was unlike any other in the department. Every student in the incoming class, all 115 of them, was enrolled. Her intent was to initiate the incoming class every year into the sense of infinite possibilities right at the start, the ethos of ITP. Her guests included experts from a multitude of fields, most of whom she knew personally: medicine, museums, urban design, physics, engineering, poetry, music, art, architecture, or a range of social justice fields. One week, Red's guests posed a problem to the students. The following week, teams of students had to respond with solutions. What was important to Red was not finding the right answer, but getting her students to enter into a conversation with each other and the technology over the problem at hand. She wanted them to feel what it was like to collaborate with each other, despite their different backgrounds, as they unleashed their imaginations unrestrained by the rational or the reasonable. Learning for Red was always about collaboration, exchange, dialogue, play, making mistakes, taking risks, but never about competition or winning. I first met Red Burns when I was asked to speak to the search committee charged with finding a successor to my predecessor dean at Tisch, David Oppenheim, a big Red Burns supporter. I was a reluctant candidate, and to make matters worse, during my meeting with the search committee, which was huge, everyone sat stone-faced around the table. No one smiled, and they all spoke to me as if I were under arrest or being interrogated for some awful crime. Except for Red. Completely out of the blue, she leaned forward, pointed her finger down the table, and announced, "I like you." And she proceeded to deliver a 5-minute monologue as to why she felt the way she did. All of the stone faces around the table turned to her with molten hot glares for breaching the cardinal rule of searches: don't let the candidate know how you feel. She ignored them. And when she finished her speech, she sat back, folded her arms as if to say, "That's all there is to it." That was the moment I knew the Tisch School of the Arts was for me. I quickly learned that Red had a clear and ambitious vision for ITP, and at every opportunity, she shared it with me. She envisioned a department that expanded its footprint by twice its size at Tisch, expanded its influence at NYU, and anchored its already considerable reputation more expansively outside of the academy in the rapidly accelerating world of digital media and new technology. She envisioned a space that would become part think tank, part laboratory, part playground, and part atelier. She described her vision to me in meticulous detail, as if she had the architectural plans laid out in front of her. There would be a town square, a social area with Adirondack chairs, and she was explicit about the Adirondack chairs. She said they were really stylish, but you couldn't sit in them for too long. And there'd be games in the center, like the foosball table that's there now. And on Friday afternoons, she would invite her students, faculty, and staff to serve wine and cheese to encourage socializing and the fortuitous encounter. The space would have an industrial feel with exposed mechanicals, cable trays hanging from the ceiling, and a machine room at one end of the hall because ITP, after all, was about making and inventing. Working with Red to help her realize her vision for ITP has been one of the high points of my time at NYU. Today, if you walk the wide corridors of the ITP space, you see and feel Red's vision everywhere. It's in the spectacular faculty, staff, and students she assembled, the fact that we can look into the classrooms, that everything is revealed to everyone else. It's in the insistence on transforming the curriculum and the space every year, causing the department to upend the status quo and, like a change of seasons, surprise us with something fresh and new every year. It's in the literally thousands who show up for one of New York City's best shows, the ITP Showcase. What came out of Red's vision and what vision for the ITP space and what Dan O'Sullivan, the current chair, now leads is staggering. A partnership with Montefiore Hospital to design digital games and puzzles for chronically ill children. A partnership with UNICEF that produced an app to find lost children in refugee camps already in operation in Sudan and Uganda. The predecessor of Foursquare, Dodgeball, was an ITP thesis project. The partnership with the multinational corporation IAC that with Danny Schiffman and our students produces a spectacular showcase of big screens in the building's lobby. ITP even helped spawn other divisions at NYU, like our All-University Game Center that just opened in Brooklyn. Its director, Frank Lance, a longtime ITP faculty member. And I'm looking now at Marianne Petit, who's with us from Shanghai. Marianne, nice for you. Where she is right this very moment, seeding an undergraduate version of ITP at NYU's campus there. I encountered Red Byrne's spirit and gumption across that long table 22 years ago. And over the past 2 decades, we were first allies who shared a vision of what the Tisch School of the Arts could become. And in time, we became the best of friends who counted on each other for the truth. Barbara, Michael, Kathy, Daisy, Olive, and Sally, as I said to you at the funeral services, the world thanks you for sharing your mother, your grandmother, so generously. Red was one of the world's great explorers, full of boundless curiosity, unflinching honesty, and a bottomless generosity. She grabbed all of us by the hand and took us with her on a never-ending voyage of discovery. And she left us with a legacy that will surely outlive all of us. You have my deepest sympathy. We all miss her, but her spirit is everywhere with us.